everyone, and welcome back to another fractions screencast on multiplying. Hopefully by the end of this you'll find it so easy. It's one of the easiest parts of fractions that we come across, so I'm sure you'll be absolutely fine. But what is a fraction? We've done this so many times before, or maybe this is the first time you've seen this. But fractions are easy. They're simply a way to show the amount we have of something. Often fractions represent something less than 1, but not always. And we've shown recently that that's not always the case. But on the whole, it kind of is, more than 50% of the time. We've got 1/3 here. The top number represents the number we have of something. The bottom number expresses the size we have. The bigger the number at the bottom, the smaller the size. I'll give you an example of that. We've got 1/3 here. If I had 1/3 of a pizza, I'd have about that much. But if I had 1/6 of a pizza, and look how that number at the bottom has changed, what that means is that this pizza has been cut up into 6 parts. So therefore, I've had a much smaller slice of pizza. In fact, I've had half the amount that I did before. So that's the reason why that makes a little bit of sense. But what we're going to do today is very, very simple. And as long as we think about it simply, we'll be absolutely fine. It's easy, it's peasy, it's definitely lemon squeezy. This is what we do. We times the top 2 numbers together to give us 3. And we times the bottom 2 numbers to give us 10. That is it. The only additional thing is sometimes we can cancel down as we go. And if we can do that, it'll make it even more simplistic for us as we go through. Because when we times these numbers together, you don't want to have a huge number at the end that you've then got to cancel down. So here goes an example of what we're talking about. I've got, on this first example, 1/4 timesing by 2/3. I'm going to write these out, and this is what I want you to do. I want you to write it out a little bit differently. I want you to write it as 1 times 2 and 4 timesing by 3. And we're going to look at that and say, okay, are any of these numbers divisible by each other? Well, actually 2, how many 2's go into 4? 2 4's go in. So what we can do is we can cancel out the 4, we can cancel out the 2, and I can replace the 4 with a 2, because 2 2's go into 4. So now we've got 1 on the top and 2 times 3, 6 on the bottom. So we'd have 1 times, obviously, nothing more, so it'd be 1, still 1 on the top, and over 2 timesing by 3, which is 6. So we've actually cancelled down as we've gone along, which is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? The next one, we can see here that this is even a little bit more simplistic. I'm going to have 2 timesing by 1 on the top and 5 timesing by 2 on the bottom. Let's look. We can quite clearly see that the 2's will cancel each other out, won't they? They'll cancel each other out. So we ended up with a 1/5 as our fraction. And last but not least, we're going to go for the next one, which is 3/8 timesing by 1/7. So let's write it out and we'll see if anything cancels each other out. And we can look there and say, well, no, nothing does cancel each other out. So then on that occasion, I just write it as 3/8 times 7, which is 56. And that's what we do. Okay, so now these next ones, I want you to do them as we go along. So please make sure you do them as we go along. Pause the video in between each one, give them a go, and see if you can work out how to do them. So hopefully you had some time to do that. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write it out as 2 timesing by 1 on the top and 3 timesing by 3 on the bottom. Can any of these numbers cancel each other out? And the answer is no, they can't. So we just write it as 2 times 1 is going to be 2, and 3 times 3 is going to be 9. Hopefully you found that ridiculously easy. Let's do the next one together. So pause the video now, give it a go, and come back and see if you've got it correct. Okay, so here we go. We've got 12 timesing by 2 on the top, and we've got 2 timesing by 4 on the bottom. Do any of these numbers cancel each other out? Well, this is an absolute bobby dazzle because look, the 2's will cancel each other out, but also the How many 4s go into 12 or 3? So I'm going to end up with, believe it or not, just 3 on the top. So 3 on the top means that our answer would be 3. And last but not least, let's do this one and see if you've got it bang on. Here we go, everyone. Let's rewrite it out in the correct format. 7 times 2 and 3 times 7. Let's cancel out the numbers that cancel out. 7's into 7. There we go. Nice and simple. So we end up with 2 over 3 as our answer. It really is as simple as that. Now, there are lots of different ways to do it. We could have, of course, just gone and said, okay, 2 timesing by 1 is 2, 3 timesing by 3 is 9. We could have gone and said 12 timesing by 2, well, that's 24. 2 timesing by 8, 2 times by 4 is 8, and then cancel it down from there. But you can see there how much quicker, if we can cancel it out as we go, it would be. And just like this one, we've got 7 timesing by 2 would be 14, and then we've got 21, and then you would have to cancel it down from there. But if you can cancel it as you go, just so easy, isn't it? So now it's time for you to do the quiz. Pause the video now if you've done well. If you haven't done well, then go back and watch it again. Pause the video, give it a go, come back and see if you've got it right. Okie dokie, let's go over the answers now. We're not going to beat around the bush. We're going to work through them nice and quick so we can see we've got 3 halves or 1 and 1/2, 8/5 or 1 and 3/5 or 2/3 to finish off. Remember, if you haven't worked out how to convert top-heavy fractions into mixed numbers, don't worry about doing that. But if you have, it's a really good thing to go and do an extra stage further. Anyway, hopefully you've done incredibly well. I'm sure you have. As always, write a revision card, 1 easy, 1 medium, 1 hard. That'd be fantastic. But until next time, it's been a pleasure helping you with your maths today. I'm sure you have got a little bit better.